So as we move into this time of conscious contact with the Lord of our being, I invite you to relax. Really just become still during this time. And I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Moving deeper and deeper into that secret place of the Most High, breathing a little deeper, relaxing a little deeper, becoming aware of our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. We focus on the power and presence of God within us, the place of possibilities, a place where there is only love, where there is only perfection, where there is only joy and an abundance of all good things. Letting everything else go. Become more aware of the presence of God flowing within you, energizing and renewing every area of your life. And today we call on this power of imagination, the creative power of spirit, to think about what it is we wish to manifest in our lives. And as we continue, I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own mind and heart. I let go of limiting thoughts and relax into the playful joy of imagination. I envision a healthy, energetic body, relationships that are loving, fun, and harmonious, success in my plans and endeavors, and abundant prosperity in all good things and in the dreams coming true. Fueled by the creative energy of the divine, my imagination explores my wishes and dreams. I have fun imagining, knowing my thoughts can be brought into reality. Knowing that everything I've experienced in my life has first come from my mind, from the divine mind to to my mind, to my thoughts, words, and actions. And so I imagine the highest and best possibilities for my life and in the lives of my loved ones and in the world. I focus on my life as a spiritual adventure. I can imagine gifts and opportunities and the presence of Spirit in every event and circumstance. Grateful for my life today. I eagerly anticipate ongoing blessings in my continuing adventure of life. So as I move into the silence, I imagine the highest and best possibilities for my life, connected with the divine essence of who I am. I imagine the good in the silence. And as we gently begin to bring our awareness back to this time and place, having touched that wellspring of possibilities, the mind of God, we come back here with gratitude for all those possibilities that are expressing in our lives. And we give thanks and pray this in the name and in the nature of the indwelling Christ presence as we sing more When I Pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my heart. When I pray, I got the right key. When I pray, feel my love. I feel my love go deeper. My love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper. My love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Hi, Jan. countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one.
A little background about the song Imagine. Imagine by John Lennon was the title track of his 1971 album, and it's widely considered to be John's signature song. It reached number 3 on the US singles chart and has been covered by more than 200 artists. But not too many people know it was partly inspired by Yoko Ono's 1964 book Grapefruit, which featured a poem that included a line, "Imagine the clouds dripping, dig a hole in your garden to put them in." Perhaps more interestingly, Imagine was also inspired by a prayer book given to John and Yoko by Dick Gregory. As we learned last week that Nowhere Man was seemingly the product of divine inspiration through meditation, Imagine is acknowledging the power of affirmative prayer. In his last interview before his death, John spoke of the prayer book. Quote, "It is the concept of positive prayer. Imagine is saying that if you could imagine a world at peace with no denominations of religion, not without religion, but without this my God is bigger than your God thing, then it can be true."
Thank you, Michael. And thank you, music team. Thank you, Paul. And I love doing the research on these songs. And as Michael shared, you know, the idea that someone gave John and Yoko a prayer book, and from that prayer book, this was inspired, the positive power of prayer, he said. And I'm so curious. I would love to know if that was a daily word that John was doing. It's nice to find those connections. It's also interesting the way that song is written. You know, it has a lot of negative references, like imagine no greed, imagine no hunger, imagine no religions. Positive prayer is done in another way, where you imagine, could you imagine if heaven was everywhere instead of nowhere? That's the positive prayer, that we live in the presence of heaven right here and right now, really right here. It's in our consciousness. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness. And to imagine, you know, no hunger, to imagine that we had a way to feed everybody in the world. You know, there's enough food to go around. The only reason that 2/3 of human beings on the planet go to bed hungry at night is because of our human construct of not being able to distribute food to all people because there's a price tag on it, right? And so that's that one piece, that one saying that makes sense is imagine no greed. Imagine no greed. But that's not the prayer. The prayer is to imagine generosity. Imagine the generosity of humankind, that we found a way to feed each other. What a world that would be. And, to live as one, to live on this planet as one. So I think John did a good job. And it was interesting to watch him in the later part of his life as his music became more positive. He kind of went through a dark time and went through a lot of challenge, and it came out in his music, as it does with most musicians. And then it got more positive toward the end, and his last album was really a wonderful, positive album. So a man was driving down a country road late one night when he had a blowout. His tire went flat, and he opened up his truck to discover that he had forgotten to replace the jack the last time he had a flat. And he looked around and he saw a light in the distance and began to walk toward it. And he wondered if he could maybe borrow a jack from this farmhouse. So thinking to himself, he opened his imaginary conversation with, "I'll just knock on the door and say, 'I'm in trouble, and would you please lend me a jack?' And he'll say, 'Sure, help yourself.'" Well, walking and thinking further, the man noticed the light in the house had gone out, and he thought, "Oh, now he's gone to bed, and he'll be mad because I'll wake him, so I better offer him $10. Walking on, he thought, "Well, what if he is away and his wife is alone and she will be afraid to open the door? Maybe I better offer them $20. By the time he got to the porch of the house, he had worked himself up so much and said out loud, "$20, that's ridiculous. What are you trying to rob me?" This brought him to the house, and he knocked loudly on the door. When the farmer leaned out the window and asked, "Who's there?" the angry stranger yelled, "You can keep your stupid jack. You can keep the stupid thing." Just a little example of where our imagination can take us. Right? Have you ever done that? You've gotten so worked up about something that happened that you thought was against you. You thought somebody was doing something against you. And you make up this whole story about how it could end up really bad. Am I the only one that does that? But then we remember, and then we remember that God is working for us, that the universe is conspiring to bless us. So we switch the power of that imagination to create what it is we want to experience in our lives and in our world. Is remembering it's God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So all the good of the world is available to us at all times. And that's the work of a metaphysician. That's the work of us in unity, is to remember that connection, that everything is working for our good. And God wants us to experience that. I know God's not a person, but that principle, that energy of good, which is what it is, wants to express in and through our lives. So what are the positive prayers? What are the positive thoughts? What are the positive imaginings that you have in your life that could use more of that energy, that could use more of that positivity to create something good in your lives? The truth is that all negativity, all challenges will pass, right? This too shall pass. How many have lived by that saying for a long time? We don't stay stuck in the problem. When you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, you don't pitch a tent. You keep walking. You keep moving. So we move toward the light. We move toward the good. So Eric Butterworth was a great unity minister and teacher, and he taught us how to do this with the expression to not set things right, but see them right. So when we use our imagination to see things rightly, we put into motion the good that we want to manifest. But how often do we try to set things right? Oh, if I just do this, or if I just do that, we'll make it happen. But when we see things right, we connect with that divine energy, and that's what begins to manifest into our lives. So if we don't like the conditions that we're experiencing or that we're attracting into our lives, we have to use that power of imagination. So in our unity teachings, there's this teaching of the 12 powers that Charles Fillmore was known for, and each power is connected to a disciple. And the power of imagination is represented by the disciple Bartholomew, and the location of the power in your body is right here at the third eye, or the brow point in the center of the forehead. That's where we go when we imagine. So you just want to do a little experiment with me. Just close your eyes and bring your awareness to that third eye place and imagine what it is. Just one thing. What do you imagine for your life? Something good. It's not something to go away, not something that you want to go away, but something that you want to bring into your life. So that's how the prayer works, to connecting the mind-body connection. So take a deep breath, open your eyes. Just wanted to give you that little feeling of that. So that's what we teach in unity. This is the power, the center of imagination. In the yoga teachings, this is the power of our intuition. The third eye is about intuition. When we do practices and breath works and meditations around the third eye, we're activating our intuition. So I had this thought that wouldn't it be really cool if our imagination was fueled by our intuition? So in other words, what is it that you intuit for your life, for the highest and best of your life and your world? What's the intuition of your mind and your heart telling you? And then to connect that with your imagination, which we connect with our thoughts, which we connect with our words and our actions. And this is the process of how we manifest what it is we want to manifest in our lives. So you could practice that if you want, to sit and to meditate on the third eye. One of the ways to do that, to bring more awareness to it, you can touch that space and kind of activate that space. You can roll your eyes up like you're looking out through the third eye, which gives you the vision of infinity. And in that infinity is all the possibilities of life. And then the intuition kicks in. This is what I'm intuiting, is needing to express in and through and as me, connecting my imagination to this intuition, creating the thoughts and the affirmations that help bring it into reality, speaking the word and taking the action. Sometimes it's really good with our imagination to use pictures, because the imagination kind of uses pictures to make things come about. So can you picture what it is as if it had already happened? Pray knowing that it is so, and it will be so. Have the picture in your mind's eye of what it looks like to have that job that you've been looking for, to have that house, to have that partnership, to have that healthy body, to have that world at peace. Can you picture that and feel into that and allow that picture to manifest in your life? So there's a lot of things going on in the world, as we prayed about earlier in the service. You know, the hurricane, which is just at this time making landfall in Louisiana, everything that's going on in Afghanistan, and our service people who are experiencing all the challenges there, and the citizens that are experiencing all the challenges there, the wildfires in the West as a result of climate change, and the political divides in our country that have never been greater. There's a lot of things going on in the world. And to me, when I look at it from a spiritual perspective, what it means to me is like we've really lost our center. We've really lost the truth of who we are, and we've given it away to someone or something that causes separation and all these other things that are happening. So I'm reminded of our second principle in unity, which is that there is a divine spark, a spark of divinity within each and every one of us. And that spark is God. That spark is who we are. We are an expression of that divine. And that is the center. That's the place where I go when I get triggered by what goes on in the world and what goes on in my own life that's not working the way I would want it to work. And I remember that place. And in that place, there is perfection. There is peace. We are at one, you know? And so when you can do that for yourself, when you can imagine your God self, and then you can see it in others. And that's what transforms the world, that we're not seeing the other as an enemy, but we're seeing them as a human being. We're seeing the spark of divinity within them. I know that's a hard thing to do sometimes, especially when someone's trying to hurt you or your family or your loved ones, or taking away what you think you deserve. And it's a hard thing to do. Nelson Mandela's quote I've loved, I've shared it before. He says, "It never hurts to see the good in someone else. They often act the better because of it." You know, we know that difference when we see the good in somebody, and then you see more good expressing as them. It's an energy thing that people can feel when you're lifting them up. And so imagine if the world lived as one. Imagine if we, you know, I know there's a lot of work. I don't know, you know, what it's going to take, but I imagine it's God's plan. It's not God's plan that we continue to be separate and continue to fight and continue to hurt each other. It's more a plan of harmony. These are the aspects of the divine, of people getting along, of generosity, of sharing what is good in the world. So I want to end this lesson with another meditation. I want you to imagine yourself as your highest self. Imagine yourself as an enlightened being. You willing to do that with me? Okay. So can we get some meditation music, Jane? You can either open up iTunes and do it that way, or whatever else, however else you can do that. So take a deep breath, and you know the steps of meditation the first step is always about relaxation. So just allow your body to relax. A couple ways I do that is by softening my belly, allowing myself to breathe a little deeper. Sometimes I wiggle my fingers and toes because these are places where we hold tension. Allow your shoulders to kind of fall away from your ears. Maybe roll your shoulders a little bit. Allow your hands to fall gently on your lap. Know that you are loved right now, right where you are. And I invite you to begin by calling to mind a sage or a saint or another human being you deeply admire. Maybe it's one of your parents or both of your parents, or a friend or a teacher. Someone you have good feelings for, who you understand. And maybe it's the teachings they share. Maybe it's Jesus or Buddha or Gandhi or Saint Teresa. Or your own teacher, whoever that is, if that teacher has been a reliable example of enlightenment and spirit to you. And if no one comes to mind, you can bring into your consciousness the qualities of enlightened consciousness, such as compassion or love. And now I invite you to think deeply about that person or that quality that you want to embody. Consider how it might be to look through that person's eyes. And if it's a quality, ask yourself, how would it be at this moment to look through the eyes of love? How would this being treat others? How might he or she behave while living your life? And imagine, if you would, lightly facing a challenge or conflict. How would that person handle it? How would it be handled? Through compassion and empathy. Imagine the spirit of that person or quality inhabiting your body. And inhale and thinking to yourself, Christ's love lives within me as my love. Or Buddha's state of enlightenment is my enlightenment. The courage of Gandhi is my courage. The grace of Mary is my grace. Or the wisdom of Sophia is my wisdom. The power of Shakti is my power. Exhaling, this inner state fills my body. Inhaling, this inner state is me. Exhaling, I am the love of God in expression. Let your imagination completely open to this experience, imagining yourself enlightened, saturated with love, filled with peace. Take a snapshot of this experience, this feeling, this vision, so that you can recall it throughout your day, your week, your life, knowing that you are that enlightened sage. The spark of divine within you is becoming a mighty flame, moving out through you in all ways. And may you find the willingness to see your true essence, no matter how magnificent it is. And so it is. Amen.